Shipwreck is the remains of a ship that has wrecked, which are found either beached on land or sunk into the bottom of a body of water. Shipwrecking may be deliberate or accidental. It is estimated that there have been about 3 million shipwrecks worldwide. This is a shipwreck. The average person believes that most shipwrecks lie in deep water beyond all but extremely expensive, well-equipped expeditions. The majority of all shipwrecks are caused by the ship simply running aground on rocks, a coral reef, a sandbar, or even another wreck. Poor design, improperly stored cargo, navigation, and other human errors leading to collisions with another ship, the shoreline, or an iceberg, etc. Bad weather, fire, and other causes can lead to accidental sinking. Intentional reasons for sinking a ship includes forming an artificial reef. Impact of shipwrecks. Shipwrecks, ocean acidification, and the dumping of waste into oceans are among the biggest sources of marine pollution. Some 75% of sunken wrecks date back to the Second World War. Their metal structures are aging and their metal plates are deteriorating, thus threatening to release their contents into the ocean due to the effects of corrosion. Oil is not the only threat to marine biodiversity. The warships used in the Second World War also carried munitions which over the years have become corroded to the point where they are liable to start leaking significant quantities of toxic substances. Some of these toxic substances, such as mercury, are not biodegradable and can cause chemical contamination of the food chain. Most famous shipwreck, RMS Titanic. Just about everyone knows about Titanic and its fate. A lot of us will know it from James Cameron's 1997 mega blockbuster Titanic, which included actual footage of the ship's eerie remains. The supposedly unsinkable ocean liner set sail on its maiden voyage on 10th April 1912, only to hit an iceberg just before midnight on 14th April, and sank in less than 3 hours, claiming 1,514 lives. It is often remembered as one of the famous and tragic shipwrecks in history. It wasn't until 1985 that a Franco-American expedition was able to reach the shipwreck and discovered that it had been split in half, with each half lying within about a third of a mile apart from one another. Shipwrecks of the Maldives. There have been hundreds of shipwrecks in the Maldives throughout the centuries. Beneath the chain of 1,200 islands known as the Maldives, deep in the heart of the Indian Ocean, lies a fascinating underwater world. Many a ship has met a watery grave on its shallow-lying reef, meaning some spectacular wrecks lie on the ocean floor of this tropical diving paradise. The warm, clear, calm waters of the Maldives also offer a fantastic opportunity to observe this process, as coral reefs grow over the hulls of wrecked ships, creating a magical home for local marine flora and fauna. Famous underwater wrecks of the Maldives. Maldives Victory, located North Malay Atoll, southwest of Hulule Reef, Hulule Airport Island. On Friday, 13th February 1981, a Singaporean cargo ship carrying goods to the capital met an untimely fate and slammed into the seabed. The Victory was carrying tourist goods to the island when it ran aground that fateful day. Desperate attempts were made by the local divers to salvage its treasures, which were already spoiled. On the plus side, the Maldives gained an excellent dive site, which has slowly become encrusted with corals and fans that provide shelter to a colony of marine life and fish. Hullavilli Wreck. This wreck was sunk by the Hullavilli Diving Center in 1991, from whence it gets its name. It was originally known as Highley 18, located just 2 kilometers northwest of the Hullavilli Resort Island. It is easily accessible by boat and suitable for intermediate level divers. Festo Wreck. Located in the center of the Aria Atoll, one of the most famous dive spots of the Maldives and a protected dive site area. In its former life as a fishing trawler, the 30-meter-long wreck was sunk to form an artificial reef. After a slow start, it has now become fully colonized with dense clouds of glassfish, antheas, butterfly fish, and slow-moving lionfish. British Loyalty, located at Adu Atoll. Divers in search of history will love the British Loyalty. which was originally a cargo ship made in Newcastle, UK. The 140-meter-long vessel lays claim to being one of the only wrecks in the Maldives to be sunk in active battle after being torpedoed by the Japanese at the end of World War II. Atoll Shipwreck, located a kilometer away from Kyoto Island, an Indonesian vessel that drifted empty into the atoll a few years ago. The whereabouts of its crew is a mystery, while the board itself is fast becoming a local attraction.